So the other thing that I want to touch on like today, based on, Blake talking to me about it on Thailand, Kai asking me, and a few of the other guys asking me, is just around like the mindset piece and how do you stay motivated? Like if you have a big month and you get lots of checks, or if you're having a rough month, like what is it that you do to kind of stay the course? And look, sales is an emotional roller coaster, and it all does come down to the mindset. It's not just about the strategy sessions, it's not just about this, but it's like, how do you keep wind in the sails when you go through a rut? How do you identify those ruts? And it all starts with just, first of all, getting clear on like what the destination is that you want to go to, right? And if you don't have that very clearly defined in your mind and written down, then you're never ever going to achieve it. So it needs to be visceral. Like you guys have all done my course, I talk about vision boards, but I don't know how many of you guys have vision boards. I don't know how many, like I redo my vision boards every 6 months. So make sure that I'm chasing what I want to be chasing. And that's the big picture. It starts with like, what is the destination? Where am I trying to go? Why do I wake up at 4 a.m. every morning and throw down? This is the reason why, right? And then from that big picture, the big vision board that you guys all need to have. Like, this is not like, when you talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, like they feel that like having a vision board is like beyond them, or it's something that they don't need to do, or whatever it might be. Like, that's just all bullshit, right? The number one thing is, it's like, if you're taking off in an aeroplane, you need to know where the destination is. And if you don't have that clearly defined, you're never ever gonna get anywhere. And that's the big picture. And then having a look, okay, cool, like what is this life that I'm trying to create for myself? What does it look like? What does it involve? How is it different to what I'm doing right now? And then breaking it down from then into very, very clear, defined goals of exactly what it is that you're going to need to do in order to make that happen over the course of the year, and then break that down from the course of the year into the quarter. And you need to be writing your goals down at least once a day, right? This is like knowledge from Think and Grow Rich that has been around for freaking ever, and it's been regurgitated by so many people because the shit works, right? If any of you guys haven't read or listened to Think and Grow Rich, do yourself a favor and listen to that shit, right? Then basically, like, you need to be revisiting that every single day. Like, I don't know how often you guys are writing your goals down. For me, I've got them on my iPhone. I listen to them twice a day, every day, whether I feel like it, whether I don't. It's just automatic for me. I get in the car and they start playing. This is the way how I roll. And that's good for the days where like maybe I don't feel like I've got level 10 energy, and it's just like it gets me back on purpose. Or like when I am in level 10 and I listen to it, it's just like just indoctrinating myself, right? You've got all this negative shit coming at you from so many different angles. You need to combat that negative stuff with positive stuff. And the best place to start with that is just by having those goals written, right? What is it that you're going after? And it's not like, don't write these really long-winded, long time frame goals where it's like you don't even have to hold yourself accountable. Like, you're auditing that every month, and then you're auditing it every quarter. And if you get to the quarter and you can see that you haven't hit that goal, then like you need to basically have a reality check with yourself and say like, okay, well, like I just missed my goals. Like, I just didn't hit my goals. What is it that I need to change in order to hit them? And like, you need to be very, very hard on yourself. Like, you can't pat yourself on the back and go, I did such a great job, or I did this, or I did that. It's like, no. Like, there's no bullshitting yourself. Like, you wrote a goal down and you didn't hit it. It's as simple as that. What are you going to do to make sure that you do hit it the next month and the next quarter? And you want to be harder on yourself than anybody else. Like, the whole reason that we have the dashboards up and the live calls is for you guys. It's not for us to micromanage it. And the people that are really successful are the people that demand more of themselves than anybody else can demand of them. And that's the way that you want to do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the thing that, and it's not just for you. It's not like, okay, you can't just be like, I want to make 10 or 15K in comms for me. Like, I want to buy these new shoes, or I want to move house, or whatever it might be. It's got to be attached to something bigger. And that's typically like, a great motivator is always giving back, or helping out family, or looking after your partner, or whoever it might be. So then when you get down and you don't feel like getting after it, you're not like, oh, well, that's all good, I'm just not going to be able to buy that thing, or I'm not going to be able to go on that trip. You're like, no, like, I'm letting my wife down. or my husband down, or my mother down. And like that lack of commitment it's offensive to them, to these people that believe in me and rally me and support me. And that's who I need to go after it for. So I don't give a fuck if I don't feel like calling this person because I sent out a prop and I don't think they're gonna buy. Like there's so many people that depend on me that I need to do it regardless of whether or not I feel like doing it, right? And most people, when they talk about goal setting and they talk about mindset, they talk about vision boards and all the things that they want, but they never think about the consequences of not getting those things, right? And for me, the most motivating thing is I look at like the things that I want on one axis, and then there's another axis that crosses over that with what happens if I don't achieve those things, and what are the consequences to me if I don't get them. And it's right in the middle where those two lines meet is where fire is, right? And that fire will light you on fire, and then there's no excuses. It's like, okay, there's one thing about being motivated, and then there's the other thing of the consequences, and where those meet is it's like, if you focus on that thing, like it will be impossible not to get after it. And I'm not saying that it's not gonna be, it won't be impossible that you won't have days that you don't feel like going after it, but when you're on purpose and you're looking at those things and you're thinking about all the things that you want and the life that you want and the things that you want to achieve, and then you think about all the things that's gonna happen if you don't achieve that, you know, you being like some washed up bum that doesn't get anything that he wants and doesn't able to provide the life, and the people that are looking up to you or the people that are within your network of what you show is possible to achieve, you don't get to do any of that either, right? And then you become one of those people that you despise, right? And it needs to be that real, and it needs to be that visceral if you want to stay motivated. This isn't something where it's like we come in and we do like a Monday morning pep up and you pep up. This is something where it's like, it is robotic. There is a vision board that is laminated, that is in my shower, that is physically impossible for me to ignore in the morning. I just cannot ignore it. And then it's like, it's a whole set of rituals that you go through every day. So then when you rock up, and for me, I'm like leaving my two daughters and my wife, it's like, okay, cool, I'm here for a reason, and I've got 10 hours to throw down here. Like, if I spend 2 hours just fucking shooting the shit, that's disrespectful to my family that I could be with. And like, I'm trying to show them through my actions, so when they grow up, they're like, okay, cool, that's the kind of man that I want. Do you know what I mean? Someone that's willing to literally do anything to throw down. So for you guys, it's always going to be different things that's going to keep you motivated, but it's not going to be one thing. It's going to be a number of things, and it needs to be written down, and there needs to be purpose behind it, and it needs to be something that you would literally run into a house that is on fire to go in and get for the people that kind of care about you. So like, there is no exceptions. I don't care if you feel like writing your goals down. If you don't, it's something that you need to do, and you're the guys that you need to keep yourself accountable to all this stuff. You need to be auditing yourself every month, every quarter, every year, to make sure that you're on purpose, because otherwise you're just going through the motions and you're not actually stopping and thinking of it. Because life isn't something that just kind of happens to you, it's something that you go out and make happen. And if you ever kind of find yourself just like going through the motions and just coming to the office and just looking through your calendar, that's when you just go down a path that's not going to get you to the destination that you want to get to. It has to be all conscious. It has to be like, okay, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm chasing. This is how many dials I need to make. This is how many props I need to send out. It needs to be robotic. It needs to be measured, and it needs to be something that you do every single day, even on the weekends, even when you don't feel like it, right? So that's like the number one thing that I can tell you, that if you can control, like everyone wants to know like what is that secret objection handling sequence that they can do, or they can just whisper in the prospect's ear and they'll just buy with no resistance. None of that stuff exists, right? It's 85% mindset. That's what it is. And it's 50% mechanics. It's not, you guys have all the tools and everything that you need. It's about having that mindset, having that conviction, because that just spills off into everything that you do. But no one focuses on mindset. Everyone focuses on the objection handling, on the role playing and all that. So that's all the tools and the tactical, and it's really, really important. But the thing that dictates that is your mindset and how you're actually gonna carry yourself, how you're gonna go out. Because as you guys know, like those days that you feel like making calls, everything's popping, the pitches are flowing, everything's feeling really good. And then there's some days that you're low energy and it just feels like everybody's a grinder and a shit lead and everyone's saying no to you. You're manifesting that, you're creating that, right? So it needs to be a conscious thing that before you get on the telephone, you get on purpose, you're ready to go. So those strategy sessions, you've got the calls that you need to make, the second, third, fourth phone call, the objection on the paperwork, on all that stuff. You just run through it because you're so sold, you've got so much conviction, you know we've got something that's really going to benefit people, and then you just go out there and get it. Because all that stuff that's on your vision board should cost you a hell of a lot more than what you just got paid. Right? But don't let that demotivate you. And then on the other side of it as well, if you're having a bad month, you know, jack up the amount of times that you write down your goals, that you look at your vision board, do what you need to do to break that rut, but it is all mental. It's all up here. It's all between the eyes. You guys can do it, but it needs to be something that you work on. Other than just working on your pitch and working on your script, you're gonna have those meetings. We're gonna do all the tooling that you guys need to do, but the stuff that you need to do is each individual is different, and each different part of you is motivated by something else, and that's not something that, like, you know, that I can do or anyone can do. It's something that needs to come internal. It needs to come from an internal drive, and that's just something that you need to work on and find out what that thing is for you that is going to keep you motivated when you have a great month, when you have a bad month, when things are going okay, when you start to get bored, when you start to look at outside things, whatever it might be. And the other thing is obviously having something that you do outside of work that is competitive and is a little bit of a hobby and a little bit of a downtime to just work as well. That's important to have. So it makes sure that, you know, when you do come in here, you at least have something that you do that takes your mind away from just doing deals all the time, right? But definitely having those things, and it's all business when we rock up here. It's all. I only want people that are here 100% committed and ready to throw down. And I need people. I need people that are all in and are willing to do anything to make this thing work, and that requires a special breed of person. Right? And not everybody makes it. And that's just the reality of the game. I play really hard and I run really hard, and one of the advantages of working at King Kong is having a founder like me who is all in 100% fully committed to pushing this thing as hard and as fast as I can, and the opportunity that provides for everybody else. And they're the kind of people that I want to be in the trenches with, people that are willing to run through walls and to basically work on themselves, work on what they need to do to be successful, because that's how we all win. It doesn't work from just me doing it, or if I wasn't doing it and you guys wouldn't do it, it wouldn't work either. It's a two-way street. I don't ask you guys to do anything that I haven't done or don't do myself. Cool? So we've got 2 weeks left. Let's fucking crack that 1.2. Let's go hard. Let's get it. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click the like button and subscribe. We're dropping a video on YouTube every other day. And if you've got any questions about any of the content that I covered in this video, just basically leave a comment with hashtag HeySabri in the comment section. And every week we're also trying to go through all those questions and get them answered. So go ahead, click subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.